Shalom, shalom, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back to Reading with Shilo. Reading with Shilo. Another edition to Reading with Shilo. I had to take a little work break. And we're gonna get it in. We're gonna get in with the next section. The next section of Things Your Parents Should Have Told You by Miss Shaharazad Ali. Copywritten in 1998. Tired, bro. I'm tired. This next section is called Your Babies. Your Babies. But we got to get it in anyway. So, hope that y'all are ready. Hope y'all got y'all pen, paper, whatever. Take some notes. Learn something. Let's see what we can learn and grow from. And also leave comments. Like, subscribe on YouTube, like, share, Facebook. If there's any books, any books that you may have that you might be trying to get rid of for some strange reason, man, hit me up in the comments, message me, hit me up in the comments on YouTube, whatever. Let me know, and we can see if we can get them books, to a new home, and we can get them read. We can get them read and move further. Something that you think your people can learn and grow from. I'm looking for stuff like Frederick Douglass old books, Marcus Garvey books, just to name a few. Old history books. It doesn't matter. What I want to hear read, let me know. I'll see if I have it if you want to hear it read, or see if I can get my hands on it. Yeah, so section 6, things your parents should have told you. And there's been a lot so far. Your babies. The children you made. By the age of 3, practically every black child in America can recognize by sight and sound Superman, Batman, McDonald's, Santa, Barney, and Big Bird, to name a few. But if you ask that same child to identify Booker T. Washington, W.E. Du Bois, or the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Dr. King and Malcolm X, they would be clueless. Those are some of the books right there. Those are some of the books that I'm looking for. That W.E.B. Du Bois. I have to check some Malcolm X stuff. Malcolm X. This must stop. You must teach your child to first recognize self before they are programmed with a bunch of white cartoon characters supposedly designed to entertain them. Cartoons are a teaching tool, but we thought they would be harmless. You dress cute while pregnant and pick out names you like. You make room in your house and try to make sure the newborn has everything you think it will need. You generally have friends or family to help you make the adjustment of taking care of the new baby. Shalom, Hood. Shalom. You start to think that taking care of and raising a baby is just dressing it up every day and feeding it. Living below the poverty level does not always seem to affect how you dress your child. Clothes remain important. Right now, about 20% of African American youth under the age of 18 are living below the poverty line in 1996. The poverty line is defined as a household of 3 people who earn less than $13,650 a year in income. This may be you. The mothers are proud to walk around in the neighborhood with the baby all dressed up in a stroller for all to see and admire. This seems to give the mothers a dose of self-esteem based on the accomplishment of having a baby, no matter how old life, as if you are strolling down the runway of the Miss America pageant. Having a baby of your own initially empowers you and makes you feel as if you have finally created something of your very own that you have complete control over. You do. The problem seems to start after the baby is 1 year old and starts to toddle. Once the baby reaches the stage of actually being a little person with ideas and goals of its own, the loving relationship between the mother and the baby changes. Shalom, Apollos. Shalom. The newly displayed energy of the mobile toddler can sometimes play on its own ego. The newly displayed energy of the mobile toddler can sometimes play on your nerves a little bit, and the clinging, wanting to be loved. And the older the baby gets, it seems that you talk to it more and more harshly, cussing at it and calling it names. And the baby always has something to eat in his hand. They continue to dress cute, and they are beautiful just like you, eager to live in the world. After it's about 3, you can no longer love it into obedience. It becomes a separate entity and is not concerned about the fact that you think you own it. Do not use criticism or sarcasm to convince your child to obey you. Your child believes every hurtful remark you make about it. This can be damaging and stunt its development. Don't yell at your child if it asks a lot of questions like why, why. When you discourage their natural curiosity, you discourage their thirst for knowledge. If you kill their curiosity, you kill their mind. If you kill their curiosity, you kill their mind. If you kill, don't yell at your child. If it asks a lot of questions like why, when you discourage their natural curiosity, you discourage their thirst for knowledge. If you kill their curiosity, you kill their mind. Consider their question as research about the adult life they will one day live. Make every day a teaching day about life. That's how we should have raised you. Your childhood, the age during which memory ensues with venom and cause you much heartache. You must make sure that the habits your child develops are the right ones because the seeds of adult character are planted during childhood. The development of good characters, such as being obedient, respectful, honest, dependable, and God-fearing, is impossible unless cultivated, influenced, and controlled during childhood. Good character depends on judgment and the ability to make the right choice. Parents' profession and must be studied and reviewed daily for accuracy. We should have told you how hard it is to take care of a baby and how a toddler's growth is called the terrible twos, and that it was a lot of work and a big responsibility to take care of a child properly. We should have taught you how to raise a child so you would know how much attention it requires. Even you do it poorly. Excuse me, even if you do it poorly. Since we didn't teach you about these things, you think having your own baby sometimes without a husband is no big deal, but it is. For the brothers. For the brothers. Because most of us don't get along with your fathers. The boys among you know little about what a man is supposed to do around the house. You know more about fixing your music equipment or taking care of your cars than anything in the house. You receive little training about appliances, furniture repair, washing clothes, taking care of babies or small children, taking care of the yard or the street, taking out the garbage, shopping for food, taking the children out to play, preparing for holiday celebrations with the family, attending a religious service, or even going to work and coming home every night. Most of this is foreign to you, and you have too much anxiety to settle down and do these things on a regular basis. You feel like you have to be constantly on the go, and even if it means just standing around on the corner, shooting the breeze with your other friends, you too need to stay home sometimes. Learn how to have a family. Learn how to have a family. Ask. Many of you only stay off the street only when you are in some kind of trouble or ducking somebody you owe money to. You are not raised around men dealing with children, so you feel totally out of whack when you are left to take care of small children or your own baby. You have little patience in dealing with a crying child. You don't know how to take children, to talk to children, or discipline them. You don't know how to talk to children or discipline them. You are known to go overboard and discipline them too violently. You can correct this by facing up to your own past and your own pain about your own father. When he raised you or not, whether he raised you or not, think about how you wanted him to be. Mainly more supportive, more encouraging, more involved. That's definitely the stuff I think about. That's definitely some of the stuff I think about. The things I wanted my father to do with me that he didn't do. And how I wanted him to do certain things. So a lot of those things are things that I'm going to do, and I do with my sons. Father, whether he raised you or not, think about how you wanted him to be. Maybe more supportive, more encouraging, more involved, instinctive, if you put yourself in a child's place. How did you want to be treated? Treat your child and other children in a manner you wanted to be treated. Face up to the fact that your father was not there for you and get over it. Make a better example of the black father for the future. If you know where your father is, face him, meet with him, and write him a letter and let it all out. You do not have to worry about this making you look like less of a man. A real man deals with the reality of his past life and makes the most of his future. Let it go. If you have to go someplace alone and cry, do it. The best demonstration of strength you can show is to be a good father to your own offspring. We do not need any more little hoodlums and thugs. Some of you don't mind being in your child's life, but you are opposed to having to be legally obligated to pay money for child support. If you do not see any example of a man financially taking care of you when you were a child, it is extra hard for you to think this is the normal action when you have children of your own. Plus, the welfare system tricked you into thinking that they would take care of your children forever. And now that they are stopping, you are rebelling against being forced to help provide for your own child. This looks very savage to the rest of the world by denying what you did. We did not understand the importance of exposing you to honest and capable men when you were little. We did not understand the importance of exposing you to honest and capable men when you were little. We thought you could be mother and father to you as long as we took care of you and gave you a home to live in. We were wrong. We should have made more effort to place you in the company of qualified men, not just sports. There are books out there how to be a good father. It would help you read some of them. It would help if you read some of them. Your power of to develop your child will make them worthy of their proud black origin. Help them conduct their relations with the opposite sex and positively plot their future destiny of being at ease in the world. You know how important a man is to another man. You know how important a man is to another man. This absence in your life is also why you don't know how to take care of your physical body. We should have told you young fathers the same thing. We should have taught you to have more respect for women, and you wouldn't carelessly violate their virginity and leave them pregnant with your baby while you move on to the next girl. How to raise your baby. How to raise your baby. Number one, do not let strangers come up to you and kiss your baby, touch its face or hair. They think they are showing you how cute they think your baby is. But in reality, they have nasty germs on their hands and you don't know where they've been. Number two, do not feed your baby junk food just because it is sitting on your lap while you eat. It is harmful to your baby's digestive system to eat spicy or tough foods when they're little. Number three, do not let your boyfriend or girlfriend babysit your child until you have been with them for a long time and seen them function under pressure or with other children. They might hurt your baby because they get overwhelmed with the baby crying or messing its diapers. Number four, do not leave your baby with youngsters or neighbors just because you want to go out. That's a big one for people right there, boy. Do not leave your baby with youngsters or neighbors just because you want to go out. Where your baby? My mama gotta have a life too. Your life is at home with the baby. Your life is at home with the baby. That's your life, mama. Do not leave your youngsters or neighbors just because you want to go out. Your responsibility as a parent is to take care of your own baby. You had it. Number five, do not start your baby off on a lot of sweets. Teach it to eat vegetables and drink water. Also, do not buy and feed it baby food that has bacon, ham, or pork in it. Especially keep it away from pork. And it is a good idea not to feed your baby any meat until it is at least 2. They will have a better disposition and be less cranky. Number 6, do not take your baby on the corner to show it off to your homies. Do not take your children to the dice game and allow them to watch. I gotta admit, I use dice at home for my son. I use dice at home. It helps him with the numbers. I might use 1. Start them off small. I don't take him to a dice game, but I do use the dice itself. Let him roll it, and you count the numbers. Count the numbers for that. And we'll keep going. And every time, and he gets excited when he gets it right. Oh, man. So we're only on the 1 dice, and then we'll move up to 2 dice. And that'll also help him learn what adding is. Like you say, you can use everything as a teachable moment. You can use everything as a teachable moment. But I agree. Do not take your baby on the corner to show it off at your home to your homies. Do not take your child to the dice game, especially when you know anything can happen at a dice game. Don't put your child in danger and allow them to watch. Number 7, do not destroy the eardrums of your baby by blasting loud rap music in its ear all day or in the car. Do not even let them hear music talking about sex or any that has curse words in it. Babies are very smart and will learn the words. Oh, yes. Babies are very smart and will learn the words. It has been proven that babies understand the language before they can speak it. Number 8, do not take your baby outside sick just because you want to go somewhere. Number 9, do not let your child watch television unsupervised. Also, remember that most cartoons are very violent and the majority of the other shows are still filled with white faces and sex. And make sure they have some black books. So all my black authors, hurry up. Hurry up with the black children's books. Hurry up with the black comic books, the black cartoon books. Hurry up. Bring them out. Bring them out. Bring them out. Number 10, do not dress your child in miniature adult clothes. Oh, that's a big one for you scallywags and skeezers. Do not dress your children in miniature adult clothes. They are not a little Pookie and Riri. Like heavy leather coats, leopard cat suits, heavy Timberlands and Segwins. I don't know what that is. And do not put a weave in your baby's hair. And do not put a weave in your baby's hair, nor straighten it or perm it before it is at least 5 years old. Just don't do it. Learn how to deal with your child hair. Shit, most of them parents don't know how to deal with their own hair, let alone a baby. Number 11, bathe your baby every day. Teach your child the importance of cleanliness and teach them to brush their teeth at least every morning. Number 12, do not put your child in a daycare center. Oh, man. Number 12, do not put your child in a daycare center where the majority of the children are white. Do not bust them a burden to place on a child. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. Number 13. If you take your child to church or some kind of religious program, make sure that the worship place has some religious pictures of black people on their walls or behind the pulpit. There's not many you're going to find for that. Not in regular churches anyway. Do not allow your child to grow up thinking that God is white, because he ain't. Do not allow your child to grow up thinking that God is white. That is the mistake we made with you. Oh, yes. That is a mistake. And that's when your parents will get, if you had parents like mine, who told you to read, even though you didn't want to read, and when you read and you had questions about the stuff you read, they got mad. Do not allow your child to grow up thinking that God is white. That's a mistake we made with you. Number 14, do not curse around your children or let anyone else do it. Insist on your child being respected, even if you yourself don't mind dirty language. That's a good one. Do not curse around your children, which I'm not going to say I curse, but man. Oh, man, I dropped something on my toe the other day. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. I was like, shit. And then my son said it. He said it right after me. I was like, oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Excuse me. He said bitch one day, too. And I don't even say bitch like that. But I hit my finger. I was changing a fuel filter in my homegirl car, and I hit my finger, and I said, bitch. Oh, I couldn't get him to stop saying it. Normally, I'll say shit and damn. Shit and damn is about the normal things I say, but still, it's still other words that can be found. It's still other stuff that you can use. You just have to, it's a habit that you have to, work hard to break. But it's finding the good words. It's finding the good words that you can use for them spur of the moments. Hit your toe on the corner moments. Number 15, do not leave your child alone with strangers, no matter how nice they look or sound. Oh, that's a big one. Do not leave your child alone with strangers, no matter how nice they look or sound. Don't worry about people, giving you a frowny face because you don't want them to be around your children or touch your children, man. Your child's safety is more important than somebody else's feelings being hurt about you not about you want to have your child safe. Do not leave your child alone in the doctor's office either. Oh man. Do not leave your child alone in the doctor's office either. Do not trust anyone until you check them out. And even then, you still have to be wary. Do not trust anyone until you have checked them out. Make sure you really know your relatives when you decide to leave your children with them. Incest has torn many families apart. Plus, you got to know what your relatives going to be teaching your children, feeding your children. If they're not on the same stuff you on, then it defeats the purpose of you having your child around them. You not cursing at home, but they cursing up a storm. You not letting them watch certain things or listen to certain things, but they gonna let it do because they gonna do the same thing that they did with you. The stuff they didn't teach you, you cannot expect them to turn around and teach it to your children now. You can't. A lot of times it's so hard for them to break that. Well, it was good enough for you. Man, look, I gotta read this book now to figure out the things you ain't told me. Oh man. And a lot of stuff that or a lot of stuff that she's talking about is common sense stuff. Common sense stuff. At least common sense to me. But as they say, common sense ain't common. Common sense is not common. Number 17, stop being so impatient with your children. Give them time to be babies. Don't rush them to walk, and do not talk baby talk to them. Use the correct word. Number 18, do not teach your children to pee-pee or piss or stinky or doo-doo. Teach them from the very beginning about their bodily functions by referring to them properly. Teach them to say urinate, void, or go to the bathroom, and DM or bowel movement or number 2. Because that's one I gotta work on. I'll be like, you gotta go pee-pee? Or poop. I do that. Number 19. Do not play too rough with your baby. Their little bones are delicate when they are little. Do not handle them roughly, trying to toughen them up. Let them enjoy their babyhood. I might have to work on that one too. Do not let them hear you talking adult talk to other adults. This information is not for their little ears or brains to try to figure out. Do not call them stupid or dummy or a dumbass. I'm running out of stuff. Man, she hitting a lot of good points right now. She hitting a lot of good things. Take your baby to some kind of place of worship. Teach it to pray from the very beginning. Pray with them before they eat and before they go to bed, and they will learn to do it on their own. Make this a habit. Make it a habit. Make it a habit. It's something I do, but definitely something I need to do more. Man, my highlight is else. Do not get high around your child, nor let anyone else. Do not drink around your child or give it alcohol. Keep cigarette smoke out of their face. Number 23, if you spank your child, do not slap it upside his head. Do not shake it. Do not hit it so hard on the arms or legs to leave welts. Do not strike them naked to spank them either. If the child is before the age of 3, you can generally just tap it lightly on the hand or on the lower leg and they will comply. After 3, do not hit them at all. What? I don't know about that one. Try timeouts. After a certain point, yeah, I believe that. Not the timeouts, but after a certain point, they should have enough. They should know when you're playing and when you're not playing after a certain point. But I'm gonna go by what the scriptures say. And the scriptures say, don't say nothing about after 3. What's up, my boy? All right, that's good. That stuff all in your house. How you feeling? All right. You gonna sit up here with Daddy and read? All right, come on, get up here. Let's get up here. Let's read about some of the things that you gotta know. Get off Daddy Beard. Get off Daddy Beard. All right. Let's read. Miss Shaharazad Ali say after 3, don't get you. She say try timeouts, long talks, standing in the corner, or denial of something they want. 24. Don't let dogs or animals lick your baby in the face. Animals carry many filthy germs on their tongue. You see, don't let a guy lick you in the face. They carry many filthy germs on their tongues, and they could cause your child to get some kind of dangerous infection. There is one more vastly important suggestion on raising your child. Protect your child from premature sexual arousal. Protect your child from premature sexual arousal. You want some water? Huh? Yes, sir? No, sir? Which one? You want some water? Yes, sir. All right. Daddy got you. Hold on. Daddy go get you water. All right. This means do not permit your youngster to see movies or videos full of sexual suggestive words and activities. Keep them from developing physical emotions they are too young to handle. Also, do not let them hear rap songs that may be too sexually stimulating for them or to them. It is of vital importance. It is of vital importance to teach, that you teach and give your child an identity about who they are through family albums, pictures, books, black films, photographs, magazines, and anything else you can find that's black. The first 3 years are important to imprint black images in their brain. All right, more black images for you, my boy. They should already know they are black by the time they get to kindergarten or preschool. Read to them and show them pictures of people like them. Make sure when you enroll them in school that you are satisfied with the personality of their teacher, especially if the teacher is of another race. Make sure the class has a black book library and other pictures of blacks on the walls and in the hallways, excuse me. Yeah, it's not many schools have that. We do not know how important it would become for you to know your history, your accomplishments, and your culture. No, we're at the top, right here. Right here. Right here. No, we're here on this side. This side. No, sir, on this page. We're on the left side. The left side. Now, we're on the left top. We attend meetings, PTAs, for years on end, and rarely brought up the issue of black books or black images for the classroom. We did not know any better, and we were afraid to draw negative attention to ourselves by rocking the boat. We thought knowledge was knowledge, and it didn't matter what color it was. That's why they saying that stuff today, that color don't matter. We didn't know any better, and we were afraid to draw negative attention to ourselves by rocking the boat. We thought knowledge was knowledge, and it didn't matter what color it was. We allowed the white teachers in all black classrooms to teach American white history. This was wrong, and consequently, you don't feel anything special about blacks than you feel about any other race. The Jews never let anyone forget. The Jews never let anyone forget, or the Jewish, because they ain't Jews, what happened to their ancestors. Hmm? The Jews, the Jews. The American Jewish community keeps the Holocaust in front of the media. The American Jewish community keeps the Holocaust in front of the media. They never let anyone around them forget, not for one day, that millions of their nation were persecuted and murdered by Hitler and the Germans between 1933 to 1945. 12 years. So if the Jews don't never let you forget about what happened to their ancestors, why should you let anybody else forget about what happened to you and your ancestors? Never let them forget. This is what it is. This may be where we are today, but this is what it is. This is how it was, and in some cases still is. They have museums, holidays, moments of silence, documentaries, conventions, yearly reunions, almost constant interviews in the media filled with personal testimonies. The American press is willing to recognize the Holocaust because it happened offshore in another country by a foreign people. This common history helps to unify them and keeps them focused on remembering and learning from their history. The press refuses to allow us to keep our slave history in the news because the persecution compared to 12 ain't nothing. Ain't nothing. Perpetrated by early Americans. White people. But since it has never been a big issue to us, and we have not until recently began to discuss it more, our slavery gets less press, few museums, and bare mention. This is our fault. We should not have spent so many years pretending slavery never happened and keeping it a secret from you. This is our fault. We should have not spent so many years pretending slavery never happened and keeping it a secret from you. Another reason for their ignoring slavery is that it started in the 15th century and lasted until about 1870, and there were no cameras to record what happened to us. The Jews have miles of film and thousands of photographs depicting the horror that happened to them. Our horror was worse because the Jews were not robbed of their names, religion, culture, or holidays. We were. We knew this, but did not tell you. The poor Indians or Native Americans. The so-called Native Americans have a history very similar to ours. The government has tried to make a form of restitution by giving them some of their land back through various relocation programs and allowing the more aggressive of them to make a business gambling. Reports are that they make millions of dollars a year in their gambling casinos, plus the money the government has subsidized them with reparations. Yet, they have some of their major problems of readjustment after their ancestral trauma that we do. Less than 1% of the Indian population derive any benefits from their gaming industry, which is mostly casinos with slot machines or bingo games. The majority are poorer than most of you are. The majority are poorer than most of you are. The number of urban Indian mental health patients increased by 200% from 1988 to 1990. Or it's a short time. 200%. That's a short time. They have 3 times the national rate for diabetes and heart disease. The Indian suicidal rate is 4 times that of other races. Their school dropout rate is said to be 75%, and over 1 million of them are without health care. Yeah, I got that's a bobo I got on my hand. I gotta find another word. What is the proper word for a bobo? I don't know. I don't know what the daddy got hurt. Daddy hurt his finger. That's what happens when you burn your finger. When you burn your finger, the skin begins to bubble up, and sometimes that bubble can pop. And if that bubble pops, it can leave you with what is it? A scab, or a scar, or depending on how much that burn has ate through the different layers of your skin, is going to determine how bad the scab is. Correct. Oh, that's a scab. Daddy hurt himself, so that's a scab. Say scab. 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 You get a scab when you hurt yourself. Hold on. All right. Yes, daddy hurt his finger. I might need a bandage. Mm-hmm. Okay. But rest assured, they still plan evil against us in their private plans. And if you are not hip to the kinds of foul tricks they play, you are vulnerable. This information is not to make you racist against any other nationality. It is to make you aware. This information is not to make you racist against any other nationality. It is to make you aware. Aware. The mother is the first teacher. The father is the second. The outside world should be the third. You have to get your foundation and values into the head of your child before you turn it over to anyone else to teach it. You have to get your foundation and values into the head of your child before you turn it over to anyone else to teach it. Everybody we leave your child with teaches it something. Everybody you leave your child with teaches it something, either intentionally or unintentionally. No, sir, we're on this side. We're on this side. We're on this side. You see where I'm highlighting right here with this green highlighter? That's the side we're on, and that's exactly where we are. Yes, sir, right here. Everybody you leave your child with teaches it something, either intentionally or unintentionally. So it is very important for you to monitor who you let influence your child, because it's 5 years before it's 5 years old. It is a proven fact that every patient and every parent enjoys and is proud of a child who is polite, obedient, and under control. If you do not have a plan to raise your child, it will grow up wild, disrespectful, and will fight you back. A decent child makes you look good. Just remember that you cannot beat your child, and you have to teach them right while they are small and hope and pray they stay that way. The information in this book is not in its totality. The information in this book in its totality gives you more advice about child rearing than most of us ever had. This information is provided now. This information is provided now because we want you back. We want you back. We want you to live. And we know that without these acknowledgments, you may not survive. Regretfully, many of you are not going to make it. Regretfully, many of you are not going to make it. Some of you will refuse to change and continue to cause your own destruction. But at least now it will not be because of a lack of knowledge of what is going on around you. Some of you already know what's happening, but fear. locked into a certain lifestyle that you see no way out of. The purpose of this book is to point to several doors so you can get out of any bad situation and start to make your righteous place in the world. Get out of any bad situation and start to make your righteous place in the world. You need to come up. You need to come up. You need to come up. What to do if you are stopped by the police? Ooh-wee. Let's see. In life, at some point, you will be accosted by the police. This is a very serious situation. This is a very serious situation that you must be careful of, because if given the slightest reasons, they will kill you. This is a very serious situation that you must be careful of, because if given the slightest reasons, they will kill you. They will kill you. One agency has suggested that you do the following. Let's see. Number one, stay calm. Do not resist physically and do not curse at them. Don't talk at all except to give them your name and address. Now, this is not on here, but remember, anything that you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. And in this world, even though they say that you're innocent until proven guilty, you are guilty until proven innocent, depending on the color of your skin. Number two, ask for the name and badge numbers of the officers and write them down if possible. If not, memorize what you can. Look at them so you can possibly remember their faces. Tell them your lawyer told you to get this information. If you know an attorney, carry his card in your wallet or glove compartment, especially when traveling outside of your area. Number three, if they want to search you or your vehicle, you do not have my permission to search, but I won't try to stop you. Remind them that I am innocent and I can't say anything else until I talk to my lawyer. Remind them that I am innocent and I cannot say anything else until I talk to my lawyer. Number four, don't resist arrest. Ask to know what the charge is. Remind them that Penal Code 841 allows this. Penal Code 841. I wish I had some law books so I could see what Penal Code 841 really is, and does it still apply today? Penal Code 841. Number five, before 3 hours go by, Penal Code 851. These are codes that need to be looked up. Call your family or lawyer and a bail bondsman. Number six, they have 72 hours to bring you to court. This book was written published in 1998. 1998. So I don't know if those penal codes still apply, but that's something to look up to see. Number six, they have 72 hours to bring you to court. Make sure you have your own lawyer or a court-appointed one, and try to make sure you have time to talk to him. Number seven, do not take advice from other prisoners. For the most part, I believe it, but sometimes you got them prison lawyers that know what they're talking about. Number seven, let's read it again. Do not take advice from other prisoners or police in your holding cell area. Number eight, it is all right to sign a traffic ticket. You are not admitting to anything by signing it. Do not curse out the officer who stops you. The police are on edge. The police are on edge. They are more afraid than you, and fear can prompt them to draw their gun. They are more afraid than you, and fear can prompt them to draw their gun. Do not tussle with the police. And do not start screaming for Martin Luther King. Be innocent. If you are driving without a license or insurance, if you are carrying a weapon, or if you are transporting drugs or drunk, your chances increase of being stopped by the law. Your best protection is to be innocent. Your best protection is to be innocent. While being innocent does not always work, it is still your best defense. You want me to mark it? You want me to mark that? Let's mark it. Let's mark it. You think that's important? All right, let's mark it. While being innocent does not always work, it is still your best defense. We should have told you about the problem white police and some blacks have with black people, especially black males. Try to live through the police encounter. Try to live through the police encounter. Try to live through the police encounter, man. Try to live through the police encounter. If they are wrong, you will have an opportunity to sue them later. Do not give them a reason to claim that you threatened them and that they shot you in self-defense. They do not trust you, and we shouldn't have taught you to not trust them. All right. My bad, I'm waiting for YouTube. They do not trust you, and we should have taught you to not trust them. Let me mark that while I'm waiting. They do not trust you, and we should have taught you to not trust them. Oh yeah. Especially how things are. Just give me a second. I'll read that over while I'm waiting. We should have told you about the problem white police and some black have with black people, especially black males. Try to live through the police encounter. Try to live through the police encounter. As she said earlier, or in another section, the police gonna say that they want to make it home. They're gonna say they want to make it home, and you need to think about how you want to make it home too. And you need to make it home, not just a want. Need to make it home, because if you don't make it home, you got to think about who is going to be teaching your children. All that stuff that she was going into about things that you need to do. Watch who you have your children around. Watch what you teach your children. These are things, if you're not doing, be mindful. Be mindful. Like she said, your best, even if you're innocent, it still may not protect you, but it's still your best defense. It's still your best defense. Chose it as ours too. So when they aligned themselves with the child rearing instructions of a white man named Dr. Spock. Look at that. Read that. The Encyclopedia of African American Heritage. YouTube is back, baby. Try to live through the police encounter. If they are wrong, you will have an opportunity to sue them later. Do not give them a reason to claim that you threatened them and that they shot you in self-defense. They do not trust you, and we should have taught you to not trust them. When you were little, just like now, whatever whites chose as their agenda, we accepted it as ours too. So when they aligned themselves with the child rearing instructions of a white man named Spock, We tried to raise you by that system too. These child rearing techniques began in the early 60s, and they were mainly discipline causes stress. Stress age is understandable. Individualism is best. Different strokes for different folks. Oh, I hear that all the time right there. Feelings are all that matter. Get the hell out. Society is responsible for how you are. There is no right and there is no wrong. Religion is only an opinion, an option. Eat anything as long as it is nutritious. Treat everyone the same. Daily entertainment is a necessity. Be careful. Look at all them brown-skinned people in that book, my boy. These are the types of values we taught you because as white society became more open and ordinary civic rules were eliminated, we believed that absolute, complete, unbridled freedom of choice was the best way to live, to be happy. We thought our future was bright. There is no point standing around like us thinking about racism, while one day thinking that racism will one day go away by itself, or that someone will create a law to stop it forever. Don't count on it. It does not have to affect you in the same way it affected us. We lost you because we misrepresented the truth about our life in America. Now the burden rests on you to change the way you live and to tell your children the truth so we don't risk losing another generation to lies. You think this discovering life is finding out how many ways, don't drink all my water, how many ways you can have fun. For you, because you have special circumstances, discovering life is finding out your past. Discovering life is finding out your past. Recognizing the situation you are living in and realizing the negative things that's going on around you and overcoming them. This is your job. Your life has aim and purpose. It's time to cut the nonsense. How to handle racism. How to handle racism. Insulting, mean, or disrespectful treatment against you by whites. Although we taught most of you to love everybody, no matter what their race or religion, by now you know that everybody does not love you. White people do not love you as they love themselves. It is not necessary for them to love you in order for you to feel good about yourselves. They are responsible for what their ancestors did to us in slavery. Please know that all of them benefit from that system in one way or another. Should not make you feel hostile towards them. They are not in charge of your success, or they are not in unless you are totally dependent upon them for a job. This is how they have power over you. They have businesses set up where they pay each other high salaries. They have businesses set up where they pay each other high salaries. And you think that if you are not able to work for one of them, that you can't make it and you will starve to death. This is not true. This is not true. You can make it. You can make it, my boy. My boy, my girl, my girl, you can make it. Meaning, if the master didn't provide for you, then you think you will perish. Most of you at one time or another will experience what you will believe is some form of racism, usually perpetrated by whites. Also, many of you, for transparent reasons, do not like white people. You do not know enough about white people to dislike them or stay away from them because we did not teach you about the potential race problems you would have in the outside world. We could have done this in a non-hostile way so you would not have racial hatred for them. But you would know to beware of them and their false promises. Beware of them and their false promises. You need to highlight the whole area. In fact, some of us promoted you in having personal relationships and friendships with white people because we thought it would help for each other. So you need to know some important white people and get them to like you. And maybe you will get a good job or something. We taught you why you should get along. Sure, by now it seems to you as if being free requires an awful lot of extra hard work. It does. But compared to the shame and the guarantee to guarantee your freedom. There is nothing worse than internal suffering we feel when we are dissed because of our color. You can avoid this. So work hard and don't make excuses. You do not live in a colorblind society. You will always be suspected of wrongdoing. The first fired to make you mean and hateful or a bigot, but so that you would not be so disappointed and surprised about how the white world receives you. They are afraid of your potential greatness. They are afraid of your potential greatness. Oh, yes, they are. They are afraid of your potential greatness and try to keep you from knowing just how great you can be if you stop being concerned about how they feel about you. The main way you can be victimized by white racism. Hey, look, after this section, I'm gonna stop it there, and we'll come back later and finish it off. Because we're almost to the end. Excuse me. Yeah, we're almost to the end. I'll leave the last section for last. But we're gonna finish this section. The main way you can be victimized by white racism is to go to them and ask or beg them for something. This puts them in a position to deny you based on your color. Of course, another way is when they are mean to you and make it known to you that they don't want you for one reason or another because you are black. One more way they practice racism against you is to force you to completely disavow all of your black culture in order to work with them. This can be witnessed by the fact that when some of us get big, high-paying jobs with them, we tend to act just like they do. We did this because we thought that if you learn to act like and be like them, they would accept us and not only their equal, but as one of them. Yeah, y'all thought wrong on that one. Y'all thought wrong on that one, parents. We worked hard to show them that we were no different from them, but we were. Any black person who has passed all of the tests and examinations and acquired a big position in one of their big white corporations, you can be sure that they have had to endure all kinds of humiliations, sneak insults, off-color jokes, and spent serious time trying to show them that they have separated themselves away from the rest of the black nation. They grin and bear it if they bear it for money. They grin and bear it for money. They also often sue their bosses, or a group of them will get together and file a class action lawsuit to petition the courts for some relief from the bad of unfair treatment they have received. However, by the time they do this, they have suffered immeasurable emotional strain and psychological distress from being in such an unnatural, unhealthy situation 5 days a week, year after year. The pendulum can swing both ways. You are very touchy because you are not sure if you qualify. but you are the best. And everything they let you in, you rise to the top. This is also why they keep you out. But you are the best. And everything they let you in, you rise to the top. This is also why they keep you out. So that's it right there. That's it for section 6. Section 6, your babies. We're almost done with the book, man. We just got a little bit left. A little bit left. That's enough for one more time. Enough for one more sitting or section, one more edition of Reading with Shilo. Man, thank y'all for listening in. Thank y'all for the ones who commented and gave me some interaction. I appreciate that. If you're new to Reading with Shilo, hey, welcome, welcome. I hope you learned something. I hope it's something that you heard that can help you learn and grow. Something that you can change and maybe possibly get your children on the right direction. Maybe get your children on the right direction. But definitely a good one, man. Definitely a good one by Miss Shaharazad Ali, Sister Shaharazad Ali. Things your parents should have told you. Things your parents should have told you. It's a lot. It's a lot. Yeah, but that's that. I don't know what book we're gonna read next. We're almost done. We're almost done. But if anybody has any other books, black books, history books, any books really, animals, whatever books that you think that that you don't want, that you no longer want, is just taking up space in your house, and you want to get rid of your books, man, send them books my way. Send them books my way. Hit me on a message. Hit me in the comments. Hit me on Messenger, and we get them books read. We'll get them books a new home in the library. I want to try to like a study, and see what I can do. Self-help books. Shit, it don't matter. It don't matter. Send the books my way. Send the books my way. I will gladly take them off your hand and we can read them. And maybe it can help somebody else learn something. Maybe that book might be the book that sparks somebody's want to read, somebody's love to read, somebody's curiosity to read. Maybe it'll spark they want to help themselves out. So yeah, let me know. Leave a comment. Leave the comments. Like, share, subscribe. Tell your people, and we'll keep pushing. But until next time, we're Reading with Shilo. Shilo out. Shilo out. Shalom. Shalom, and thank y'all. Till next time.